Let's do train home. They do the Boston Sprinter. Let's do the Harlem line. I think I'm gonna do the Harlem line. Let's use the 7A. And it's about 5:46 p.m. Let's do this 1739 train to Norfolk Queens. Okay. Do it. We got some people standing around here instead of working. I'm obviously a royal fan, as the person said. Hope everybody is doing well today. I'm gonna do a quick try to run home here. If you haven't follow. You can also check out the Discord. Currently they are having a Humble Bundle for Train Simulator. If you have access to Humble Bundle, you get Train Simulator for a very good donation price. And you can use that from the Steam store if you are a PC preferential person. Anyway, we are here. We are live. Alright, just waiting for this to load up. And we shall begin our run home. Okay, unlock the doors. Let's take our little key. Set the key to on. Reverser goes to forward. This goes to max brake. I'm gonna charge the brake. We will put our taillights on. We will take the marker lights off. I'm gonna set our headlights to bright. What else here? That's fully charged. Brightness is okay. Let's put the gauge lights on a little bit. Horn check. Let's put our safeties on. Essentially, this train is very similar to the one that you get very similar to the one that you get for, what's the name? It's very similar to the one that you get in Long Island Railroad. Okay, door key is in. There's a door pre-closing bell, which is then model. Yeah, one of the things we did recently, the door was open. It was closed actually, but that was on LIRR. I think here the doors are closed this way when we're in this direction. Okay, we're going to be closing the door. I'm going to start early. Close the door now. Small restriction here as we are stuck under 15 I remember this starts to go a little downhill as well. How's everybody doing today? What's going on? We're taking the train home here. Taking the Metro North. This is supposed to be about an hour and 6 minutes. Yep, we're doing some Harlem Line today. On the Discord, I posted some pictures a while back, I believe, of this, one of the bridges that we go across in real life. And if anybody has access to Humble Bundle, you can actually get Train Simulator for a good price there as well. I'm trying to share that message. There's a link to it on the Discord as well. How's it going, Samson? If you guys aren't familiar with Samson, Samson does actually stream as well. We are going downhill, so we just have to be a little mindful here of our speed so we don't get in trouble for going over speed. But getting out of this tunnel takes forever because this is a very, very old station. So this run should be about an hour and 6 minutes. How are you today, Samson? Good evening. It's almost midnight for you. We actually will be turning our clocks back here this evening. Oh, cool. Hey, Foxy, how have you been? What were you streaming the other day, Foxy? I had some company, so I wasn't able to jump into your stream, but I saw that you were streaming for the first time in a long time. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. If you're gonna lurk, there is a lurk command as well. Oh, a lot and all at once? Did you do like a marathon stream? And if you... Oh yeah, you're good at Rogue Company though, so I could see that game liking you. It was crashing everything else? Gotcha. Oh, OBS was crashing. Ooh. I never actually got OBS. I'm cheap. I just use the Twitch thingy. They have like a Twitch... I mean, I know it doesn't cost anything, but I mean cheap with my... No, I know. I meant cheap with my, like, brain capacity. Like, I try not to spend it if I don't have to, so I just use Twitch Studio. Although OBS is nice and fancy. Yeah, no, I know it's free, but, like, I'm like, do I really want to learn something at this age? Ooh, hey, Zayla, how you doing? Yes, I am, I'm gonna hydrate, have some water here. I had karate last night, so that usually beats my cheeks. It makes me dehydrated. I've found recently, I never had this problem before. You're welcome, of course. Found this recently, I never had this problem before, but I can't sleep now after evening karate. Use Streamlabs, yeah. I use Twitch Studio whenever you see my face, which has been rare lately because I haven't had the time to set everything up. You'll see me on Twitch Studio, and they pretty much have everything kind of cookie cut and ready to go. It's not the fanciest thing ever, and you can't get like a ton of extra layers and things, but I like it. Yeah, I tried to catch Samson while I was at work, I believe. Sometimes at work I use my work phone as a hotspot. Nobody from work is watching, so nobody would know. Alright, welcome everyone. We're on the Harlem Line, and we are heading uptown, and we have some fellow streamers in chat, which is always fun. If you missed it, the shout-outs were given. We'll probably run through those again. It takes a very long time to get out of the station in real life, as it does in the game. I have been to the station many times throughout my life. As you see, those trains are going slow. We have to go slow to get out of here. Alrighty, so we're moving along. Happy Thursday, everyone. We are riding the train home. This is the Harlem line, if you're not familiar. Yeah. Here we go. Now we're getting a bump up to 60. I do actually like the train system on this line. Difference here is this one's run by the MTA, Metropolitan Transit Authority, and then we have the LIRR, which is run by Long Island Railroad. To be fair, they're essentially using like the same, it's essentially the same train. The variations are very similar, but their speed systems are slightly different here. Samson, what were you playing this week? I know you did some train sim, right? Was that today? I kind of popped in for a few minutes today. Alright, moving along here. So this is the right tunnel. If we look at the map here, you'll see that we have 4 tunnels there. I've been in this right tunnel before as well. We're gonna cut our speed down a little bit here. Oh, one thing I didn't realize is that I didn't have all of the DLC that I have loaded onto Train Sim World 3, so I took care of that this week. Because I think last time I played it, I wanted to actually run. Why are we getting a speed penalty? That was strange. Oh, okay. Well, oh yeah, I haven't been paying attention. That's my fault. So we're gonna come down to 40 next. Now you're bumping us back up to 60, but we're gonna come down to 40. Alright, we only have a mile, about 1.9 miles to go. We have a little less than 3 minutes to get there. So we'll try to play this one pretty close. In all honesty, it's not that far away. We got some mice. Were you able to figure it all out, Samson, after all that? Okay, we're gonna come down to 40. Alright, here we go. Yeah, Samson, were you able to figure out the problems and kind of get around those? Oh, Foxy, if you're still there, whatever happened with the thing? I remember you had an interview for like a streaming group. Whatever happened with all that stuff? And I'm glad that you're doing well. So we are coming up on 125th Street. Oh wow. Oh, that's happened to me too. I had during the pandemic, I participated in like a panel virtually, and it never appeared in the real world. So I was like, maybe my answers weren't good. It's always funny when those things happen. You're kind of like, was it just bad? Like, are you gonna tell me something? So don't forget with this line, the Harlem line, they do want you to kind of blow your horn before you come into the stations. So we are in Harlem, if you're familiar with New York. Oh, you're doing wireless headphones? Gotcha. So you're using Bluetooth for the headphones? Yeah, I could see most of the things wanting more of a wired connection than anything else. Probably doesn't make the CPU have to work as hard. So we'll be stopping here at 125th Street. I actually passed this stop a few weekends ago on the bus. Usually below us here, there's a whole bunch of people, and sometimes a bunch of police officers. Again, on Discord, there's a bridge that we're about to go across. On the Discord, I actually put some pictures up of that bridge. We got a perfect stop there. So, it's a little bit lighter right now where we are, but this is close to what you'll see for this time of night. Yeah, but Samson, I can see the wireless giving you trouble. Okay, let's head to... Ooh, that's why this is taking an hour and change. We're stopping at like every stop. So next stop is Melrose. It would be nice if they added the audio from the conductors, because they're usually telling you which stops are coming up. Alright, we have a little bit of a restriction coming up across the bridge, because this is an old bridge. But again, I did actually post some pictures in the Discord of this actual bridge in real life, because I was at work and we were working near it one day. Actually, we came under it and then we stopped pretty close to it. Alright, so we're going to come down to 35. Yes, I acknowledge you. 35. Very good. This is the bridge. Again, on the Discord, if you want, you can check out pictures of it. I took those bridge pictures from 135th Street. And essentially the bridge is running across... It doesn't actually run across 125th Street. It goes around, like off to the side of it. Okay, we're stopping at Melrose Track 3. So we just crossed what's known as the Harlem River. And Melrose, this stop here, Melrose is in the Bronx. So we left Manhattan and we're coming to the Bronx. Alright, so pulled into Melrose next. Again, we are in the Bronx. We actually cover across, I think, 3 counties on this run. We're going to go from Manhattan, which we just left, which is Manhattan County, or New York County, technically, through the Bronx County, which is where we are now, and then into Westchester County. And we'll toot the horn. What's actually above us is an apartment building. Alright, glad to see some of my favorite fellow streamers popping in tonight. It's good to see you guys. It's a long time. Now, again, if you have a PC and you're interested in Train Simulator, and you are in a place that can actually get access to the Humble Bundle, they are offering Train Sim World and a bunch of, actually not Train Sim World, Train Simulator, and a bunch of DLC on Humble Bundle for a nice donation price. That was a good stop. Alright, there's an express train passing us there. I have a feeling our train is making all the stops, so that is where we will be today. Alright, doors closed. Yeah, you notice that the doors, when they close, sound exactly the same as the trains on the LIRR. These are essentially the same trains, just slight variations. A tree just joined us. Okay, cool. Yes. Yeah, I don't have all of the logos. I don't buy them all. Like, the only one I think I bought was the Baby Bullet, because I really like the Baby Bullet, and that one's on the California line, the corridor, Peninsula Corridor. I feel like this has a weird speed decrease coming up, but I think it's an increase once we get past here. Alright, next one is Tremont. Tremont is also another stop in the Bronx. Also runs, there's a few stops on Tremont for the actual subway. So you can see we got cleared to 75, but it does come back down to 60 eventually. Now the brakes are very good on this train. I think the yeah, I like Baby Bullet. I think the Sherman Hill one has a pretty good scenario, meet, where you have a situation where there are people trying to hijack your train, like a gang. It's pretty interesting. I don't know why we get the light from the other train in this area all the time. I can see if the train was coming from the other direction, but this train's coming from behind us, and we always have the light shining in our faces here. I wonder if they'll add the New Haven line. So there's a part of this train line that goes into Connecticut. Really worried so much about being a little bit behind on this line. It's because sometimes you can make it up. Let's take a look outside. Nobody wants to get on this train. Third-person shooter. Samson says TSW turns into a third-person shooter mid-route. That would be interesting. They have like a zombie train. Alright, next stop is Fordham. Now, I think I mentioned this story before, but there was a day I was on this train, and as we actually passed between two of the stations, the train lost contact with the third rail and came to a complete stop. The only good thing is that the back part of our train was in one of the stations still. So if it wasn't, we wouldn't have been able to get out if we were like stuck like right here, and they would have to send a rescue train, and that would have taken like 3 hours, the guy said. But because we're still in the station, we were able to get off the train and then get on to another train that came on the opposite end. But I probably told that story before, but it was a very interesting experience because we're like, how did the train lose contact with the third rail? Like the third rail's there the whole time. But things happen. Welcome to New York. I was a little mad though because I actually had a seat on the train, and usually I don't think I had a seat when I got to the newer train. Alright, we'll be blowing the horn pretty soon. Happy Friday for those who are already into Friday. We are still on a Thursday evening here. I was hoping yesterday was Friday. I think they're trying to tell me I was going too fast. Oh no, that was the speed was lowering there. So this is Fordham. This is Fordham Road. Yeah, when you're stopping, yeah. You gotta make sure that you are slow enough. There has to be enough brake pressure in order for it to open the doors, yes. That's why I usually go to max on most things when I'm stopping, so that there's no confusion. So this is Fordham Road. Fordham Road has a lot of shopping. You can also get to the Bronx Zoo, which is where I was on Saturday this week. And you can also get to Fordham University from here as well. Now, Fordham Road is one of the longer roads that runs through the Bronx and brings you across the Bronx as well. But there's a lot of shopping this way. Good pizza in Arthur Avenue that way. A lot of Italian food. It's a very mixed place, the Bronx. Alright, Botanical Gardens next. So right across the street from the Botanical Gardens is the Bronx Zoo. You can get off here and get there, or you can get off at the next stop. I actually, and this is going to be really sad and sound crazy, I've actually never been to the New York Botanical Garden, which is right here. And I don't know why. At some point this year we're going to go. They have a holiday train show, and my little cousin wants to go, my aunt and my wife, so we'll be making it there this year. But I've been to the zoo millions of times, and it's across the street from it, but I've never been to the Botanical Gardens. Very odd. Again, remember on these, they do expect you to blow the horn before you come into the station. There's a lot of people. I would actually radio to the conductor to be careful, because this looks like two gangs are about to get on here and fight. Like, should we wait for the police? Because there's a lot of people, and there were big groups. It usually means that a fight's about to happen on the train. Sorry, from my experience as a New Yorker. Oh, they all got on the train. I don't think I've done any of the things. So here we have the New York Botanical Gardens, which is a very well-funded, very eventful garden. And then there's other botanical gardens throughout the city, but this is the main one. Most of the places, like, for example, our Bronx Zoo, which is here, there are 5 zoos in New York City, but the Bronx Zoo is the largest. It's the most well-funded. They have a whole bunch of gorillas. It was actually funny. My whole life there was literally, yeah, because the polar bear was 26 years old. They had a polar bear at the zoo the entire time, and now the enclosure has different animals in it, and they have little signs saying that unfortunately they had to euthanize the polar bear because he was 26 years old and had a whole bunch of health problems. And you know, polar bears, it's not like you can just go and get another polar bear. It's not very It's not one of those types of things. Wow, we have 2 minutes to get here. We're gonna be a little early. We're gonna be at Williams Bridge. Still in the Bronx here. There goes the downtown train. There is a Yankee Stadium station off of these runs here. But I would probably do that if they were in the World Series, but they're not, so. Alright, we're gonna toot the horn. And start our braking. I thought that we were going to be, I thought we had a lot of time because it said 2 minutes, but we're actually right on time. At some point I'll actually get out and do all the collectibles on these stops. So we are at Williams Bridge, and surprisingly there's no one here. Let's see if anybody gets off. Any takers? Nope. There's a chance that one of the trains that was in front of us stopped here, so cleared the tracks. Yeah, we do actually have restaurants pretty much for every country, and I think there's well over 200 and something languages spoken in New York City as well. Even some languages that are kind of on their way out, so to speak. Next stop is Woodlawn. But yeah, we do have restaurants for everything here. Even like food from Nepal and other kind of remote locations. But yeah. We have every food and almost every language spoken in New York. Alright, next stop is Woodlawn. Woodlawn actually has a very popular cemetery there, where there are actually a lot of famous people buried. And there is a bus yard there, which actually does exist. That's actually accurate. They want us to come down to 60, but I'm already at... Acknowledge that and slow down. Alright, so this is Woodlawn Track 3. Again, Woodlawn is more known for the cemetery that's here than anything else. Like I said, there's a lot of famous people, a lot of famous New Yorkers, a lot of musicians, actors, titans of industry, all buried here. And we're still in the Bronx. Alright, doors open. We actually were a little bit ahead of time on this one. So we're gonna actually make it here close. Alright, as we come out of here, we're going to be stuck at 40. So we'll process that here in a second. Oh, we're actually early, you see. They tell us to wait. We're behind for most of it. Well, yeah, but maybe you want Swedish food, right? Because you miss it. Next stop is Wakefield. But usually when we travel, we always try to go to like local places and get more of the flavor. Is that rain? It looks like we're getting some rain. Alright, next one is Wakefield. Wakefield leads to 241st Street in the Bronx. Pretty reasonable pizza. There was an interview before Desus and Mero broke up with Denzel Washington, who actually talked about a pizza place which is there. You see that route that goes to the right? That route, that line that led to the right is going to, that's the New Haven line, which I'm hoping they add that stuff there. Although I want to probably say the #1 purveyor of Swedish food in New York is probably IKEA. But one thing I also like to do when I go to other countries is check out their McDonald's, because usually you have local things that we don't get here. It is raining. I don't remember seeing rain in the forecast yet. So this is Wakefield. Typically you say Wakefield 241st Street. Let's put the wipers on while we're at it. Let's put on intermittent. But I'm just saying, like, if we think of Swedish food here, that's usually what you're gonna think about is IKEA. The meatballs and the lingonberry. Alright, next stop is Mount Vernon West, which is one of my home stations that I grew up with. Another train passing us by here. I think we're actually doing every stop on this run. Yes, all we know is IKEA Swedish meatballs. That's all we have a reference point for. Although we have things like the pickled herring and some other foods that I've had before here. This is Mount Vernon West, and this building to the right is brand new, and it's actually accurate. They just built it in the last few years, and it's in the game. Yeah. You know, when we go here, we usually make a day of it. So you go there, get your furniture, get some food. Because usually what they'll do is, like, if you shop there, they probably do it where you are too, but your food is free. Okay, I'm going to start closing the doors. Next one is Fleetwood. So one of the weird things about Fleetwood is technically Fleetwood is in Mount Vernon, has a Mount Vernon zip code, but the people who live there act like they don't live in Mount Vernon. It's a very strange thing. Okay, we're doing a track change. track change comes have some speed changes as well. I have a feeling that there was one like kind of freight scenario in here, if I remember correctly, one or two, because that's why these like cars were here. But I don't remember what train it was to move them, what locomotive was used. Okay, Fleetwood track. I think after Fleetwood is Crestwood or Bronxville. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it kind of incentivized us to kind of go, because then you're like, okay, let's eat lunch there. You know, when we buy stuff, the food's gonna be free, so. Because if you shop and then you show your receipt, the food is free. So my wife and I always go and eat. Alright, Fleetwood. I always grew up driving over the station, but I never actually stopped at the station. We're doing very well on time, which is very good. Beautiful. Excellent. So I've been playing Apex because they just did a new update on Tuesday. I enjoy playing Apex. But the people I've been playing, well, some of the games I've been playing have actually been really good. The people have been playing a little better. I think some of it's because I ranked up a little bit, but it's actually been reasonable. Yep, there's a little bridge there that cuts between Mount Vernon and Yonkers. I'm going to start to close the doors, release some brake pressure. Alright, and on to Bronxville. Yeah, so this is why this one's an hour, because this one's taking every stop, which is fine. It's a good way to learn the route. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Actually, the funny thing about that song is there's a section of the map in Red Dead 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, yeah, that makes me think of that song. That one they actually wanted me to be throttleless in order to clear that, which is odd. Okay, we are going up to 60 next. Clear that one, and we should be coming into our stop soon. Cool. Well, I have to now come to Sweden. So it's funny, they've had these in the game, so these are cross tracks. So what it is like if they're working on one of the tracks, they'll have these things go across the track so that the train can come in and people can still walk across. For some reason in the game they're always there. So whenever they actually probably ran and took pictures of everything, these things were there. Another funny thing is this building on the right, my doctor's office was there for about a year before they moved to another location. Hey, aloha. Okay, welcome. Okay, almost there. Wow, we actually made up a lot of time. I'm a little surprised. I'm surprised that we made it up so much. Alright, so Samson is offering real meatballs, homemade hand-picked lingonberry. Yes, that sounds good. And if you ever come to America, we will take you on a food tour of everywhere else in the world, because we have all those things here in New York. Next stop is Tuckahoe. I can't remember. Did I remember to blow the horn on this one? I think I did. I don't remember. Yes, it does benefit everyone there. We have actually most of our furniture in this apartment is actually from IKEA. Eventually, if and when we get a house, we'll get nicer furniture, but I want to keep the IKEA stuff. Maybe put it in like a man cave or something, because it's reasonably priced. This is Tuckahoe. Alright, and unfortunately, we ended up a little bit behind. Excellent. Let's take a look outside. Got some newspapers to clean up there. Got some people trying to escape the rain. Got about a 10-minute difference here in real time, in game time. Alright, next stop is Crestwood. Now I know where the Crestwood stop is, I just never knew that area was called Crestwood. It's kind of strange to me. Alright. I don't remember what's after Crestwood. Because this said we had an hour and 6-minute run. Yeah, that's one of the good things about IKEA, is that you can get stuff for a good price. You don't go broke getting IKEA furniture. I think, oh, we got our bed from IKEA too. You know, we usually put everything together ourselves. They have a few services here where you can like hire somebody to come and do it. But we usually just work together. And so far, nothing's fallen apart. I want to print there's a game where you work as like a electrical engineer, more or less, in a factory in China. But I want to, for some reason, like my PC won't let me switch between the manual, which is on the web, and the game for now for some reason. So I want to print out the manual, but I want to do it somewhere where it's fast. Yeah, your Allen key, yes. Although some of the stuff requires a hammer every once in a while. Blau Portrait of a Lady, 5 stars. Time box storage. Where's this guy going? He looks like he should be in one of the British maps. Alright, this is Crestwood. Alright, I gotta wait again for the doors. I like to close the door slightly early. So we can stay on time. Perfect. Next one is Scarsdale. Oh, I didn't realize they had another train that pulled up. Oh, thank you for lurking. Now you are one of the many Lurkishas. Hi, Lurkisha. Lurkisha, no. Going to Scarsdale. Scarsdale is actually one of the richest cities in New York. Yeah, no, I remember hearing that he died, yeah. Didn't he die recently? Samson, didn't the founder die recently? Scarsdale. Oh, 2018. Oh, that's fairly recent. I think I remember seeing like a really bad article about his death. Scarsdale. So we're running along the Bronx River Parkway and Bronx River with this line. I'll start slowing down. I need to cut back these trees. Yeah, surprisingly, we're still a little early on all these things. I think one of the things is that I'm closing the doors a little earlier and taking off like right as the time changes. I think that makes a difference here. Back up. Doors open. Let's take a look outside. I'm surprised their umbrellas didn't spawn. I think that happens more in the other game though. Really? Like he couldn't get one for free? I mean, we sometimes bring our own bags though, because we don't mind buying the new ones when we go, to be honest, because we use them for other stuff around the house. Like we use them for laundry. A lot of people in New York use them for laundry. It's so bad that somebody actually stole ours one day. So we're like watching, and I don't know why I wasn't paying attention, but we see the lady walk up and like grab them, but for some reason we thought maybe they were hers, and then we realized that like she stole our bags like right in front of our face. Alright, next track is Hartsdale. Oh wow, he's really cheap. Well, actually, what's his name is like that too. I don't know if you heard of Warren Buffett, who's one of the richest men in the world. He bought he has like a Cadillac that he bought when it was new, but like supposedly he hasn't like updated his car. He just takes care of it. Maybe that's a lesson for all of us, right? If we want to be rich, just like be cheap. be extremely cheap if you want to be rich. It could be true, but you gotta also make something or sell something or buy something and sell it. Like, they don't talk about that whole extra part of it. I guess if you want to keep the money, you gotta be extremely cheap. Okay. Yeah, most of them weren't, yeah. Most of the people, there's very few people who are born rich, you know. And a lot of other people, you either have to work for it or you got some of it from something else. So. Alright, so Hartsdale's next. After Hartsdale, I don't know if it's our final stop or we have one more stop after that. We got a whole minute early. Well, also, like, we're probably one of the few trains on this track because most of the other trains were doing more express runs. So this rain's really coming down pretty heavy. Should we kick this up a notch? Actually, it's not really on the glass so much; it's just in front of us. So. I don't like using my wipers too fast, even in real life, just because it kind of like hypnotizes me sometimes. Oh yeah, we're here very early, which I'm not upset about. Customers might not be too happy with it, but one of the interesting things is, like, I don't think most of these things are just like tree lined in the back. I feel like there's a little bit more action in real life there. Yeah, you know, one of the problems though, London Commuter in the beginning, is like there's certain scenarios that I could not, that wouldn't actually work properly, and they finally fixed it. They snuck it in, like, how long London Scenario been out now? Like 2 years or something like that? And then they like snuck in the fix one day, and I was actually finally able to complete one of the runs. But that was frustrating. White Plains is next. I think White Plains, well, there's White Plains and then there's an extra drop-off section. I'm not sure if they want us to go there. I think there's a North White Plains also. So we'll see what we get. Yeah, I've also had some, remember when they did that like Rush Hour DLC? There were some situations on that where I was just stuck, like literally stuck in traffic, and that was a little frustrating. I just got a message that my battery is running low on this controller. I actually tried to get new PS4 controllers, and they were like, there were none, because people who couldn't get a PS5, ooh, some lightning. People who couldn't get a PS5 were getting PS4s, and then there was like absolutely no PS4 controllers. So the other problem is that the price of PS5 controllers hasn't gone down. And I used to just buy like a used controller from the GameStop and things like that. Don't even have used ones anymore. So it is what it is. So that L means that we are in limited mode, which I think means that we're going to stay under 45. come around the bend here and pull into the elevated station that is White Plains. I know, I saw that, yeah. You think it was a bug? Yeah, I don't think you were going that fast, right? You were going like 35 or something like that the whole time, so. But it happens to the best of us. That happened to me once while I was streaming. And I was like, nope, I am not starting this thing all over again. Good night, everyone. Alright, coming here into White Plains. Here at White Plains you have a few malls. Major shopping area. And then you also have a little bit of a transportation hub where you can actually transfer to other buses and things in this section as well. They did get this little clock tower, correct? That clock tower has been there forever. I wonder what side we're opening doors on here. I guess I'll do both. And I hope that lightning didn't just strike the track, because that would be bad. As my friends say, bad. Okay, so let's do a both sides open. Okay, don't let us do the left. Alright, good night, Samson. Thanks for stopping by. I was like wondering when you were going to go to bed. I will catch you later. Have a great evening. And if I don't see you tomorrow or chat with you tomorrow, have a good weekend as well. Good night. Thanks for stopping by, man. Always great to see you. Yeah, usually there's one more stop here, and it's going to be North White Plains. So we're going to get there in a second. Yeah, but we were able to kind of make up time to get here. A little bit. Alright, closing both doors. Alright, North White Plains is the last stop. Alright folks, once we get to this last stop, we will wrap things up. We'll try to see if there's anybody else streaming and kind of send you along there. We'll see what's happening. Alright. They do have a thing that, like, if you're afraid of like kind of thunder or lightning, you can actually turn it off. But the weather dynamics have actually gotten a lot better on the game. And you can see some fall foliage as well. That's new. That's one of the things that I do like about games recently, because even in NBA 2K in the city on the PS5 versions, they have a nice fall foliage as well. Gotcha. We're gonna come down to 15. Oh, it's actually after the stop, so. Alright, again, thank you Samson and Foxy for hanging out. And Zaylor17 also, thanks for popping in for a few minutes here tonight. We have this beautiful weather going on in the game at the moment. Alright, okay. Wants to tell us that we're going too fast. Alright, we're pulling into North White Plains. I have a fresh air intake there. Anything else here? Okay, we gotta be at below 15. Okay. We're still early. We're actually 2 minutes early. It's actually a good run. Again, one of the things is I didn't wait too long. I started closing the doors a little bit early so we could be on time. And it seems to have paid off. Here is North White Plains. And this should be our final stop. I don't think they want us to bring the train into the yard tonight. And we are at an hour and 6 minutes of stream time. Okay, they just stopped us there, so. I don't know why we were getting overspeed. I don't think we're in. Yeah, we're not. Okay. Let's see. I don't think we need to open all the doors. Okay, so we're just gonna wait until 18:42, and we will be done. Oh, I guess this is the selector for the. I don't know what this is, but there's a button that we can press that says scan. Didn't really do anything. 3 blinds. Okay, yep, they do want us to bring it into the yard. Okay. I'm a little bit mad that that thing like shut me down, so I couldn't actually get my perfect stop there at the end. So just accused me of overspeeding. Go away. And we're gonna bring this into the yard and call it a night. Alright, we're down to 10. Yes, I acknowledge you. Those things are like children. They want you to acknowledge them. Yeah. Make our turn here. Alright, so let's keep in mind we have a 10-mile-an-hour restriction, which is why we're kind of moving in so slowly here. Alright, almost there. So we're going to pull into the yard here and shut the train down. Okay, that's it. Alright, let's see how we did. Oh, we got it. It was an hour and 6 minutes. We got it exactly an hour and 6 minutes. Hour, 6 minutes, and 18 seconds. We got the gold there. Let's look at how good our stops were. We're actually a minute behind in the beginning. Again, getting out of Grand Central is always a little tough. We're a minute behind at Tremont, a minute behind at Fordham, right on time for Botanical, right on time for Williamsbridge, right on time for Woodlawn, Wakefield, Mount Vernon, Fleetwood, Bronxville, Tuckahoe, a minute early for Crestwood, a minute early for Scarsdale, a minute early for Hartsdale, 2 minutes early for White Plains, 2 minutes early for North White Plains track, and then 5 minutes into the train yard. Very good run. Alright, again, I want to thank everybody who stopped by today. Great chatting with you, Samson. And Foxy, of course. Great to see you all. Threw in some early shout outs there. I think that's it for tonight. Let's take a look and see if there's anybody who is up and running. Let's see. Maybe we can see if somebody's playing Train Sim and raid them. We have one person playing, so let's surprise them with a raid. Thank you, everybody. We'll catch you hopefully on Sunday. Figure out what we'll play, but we will play something hopefully on Sunday. Have a great evening, everyone. Good night.